The truth about crypto trading, what they don't want you to know. They'll tell you it's easy, they'll tell you to just follow charts or buy the dips, but they won't tell you the truth. Most people fail in crypto trading, not because it's impossible, but because they are playing the wrong game. In this video, I am going to break down the hard truth about crypto trading and show you what actually works in this market. No hype, no BS, just real talk from someone who has been in the market for years. By the end, you'll know if crypto trading is for you, and if it is, how to approach it the right way to actually make money. Most people fail in crypto trading or in trading in general because number one, they don't have a system. Number two, they have never trained themselves on personal development, risk management, money management, or just in general, they still don't have the emotional control. Because most traders, if you ask them, professional traders, they will actually tell you that 90% of trading is psychology and 10% is really the skill set and technical analysis. So if you follow a system, whatever system it might be, for someone it can be very profitable because he has the emotional control, he has the psychology part of trading done, he dominates it, he understands how to risk, he understands how to hold his positions, he doesn't get emotional when they go into drawdown or into so-called minus, right? Or if he hits a lot of stop losses, where most people then on the other side that are still emotional traders, they will follow the system as long as everything is going well, but as soon as these numbers turn into red numbers, they will completely freak out. They will close positions early, then the market will go up, for example, then they re-enter. So the biggest fail in trading is actually the emotional control. And there's only two ways how to prevent that. Number one is experience, obviously. You need to experience it. You need to go through it. So trading, and especially crypto trading, is something you need to do for months and years to come. As in any other sports, for example, boxing or in gym, you need to train for years to get the physique that you want to. You need to train for years boxing to be a good boxer. You need to become a good bricklayer for years and train it, right? There's a program for it. So most people think trading is something they can learn in a couple of weeks with YouTube videos and then become rich if they're hopefully lucky. And yes, some people get lucky, but that's the biggest fail. People don't understand how much time, effort, and how much experience, and number two, how much importance there is on having a right system, right? The biggest misconceptions new traders have is, again, they watch a couple of YouTube videos, they buy a meme coin and they become rich, which in the sense of if you have a lot of luck can happen. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but even if you are lucky to catch this next meme coin and make a lot of money, you will probably end up losing it anyways. Because like in the casinos, when people start to make money in a casino, they will start to gamble with the money again, right? Because it's free money in their mind. So the biggest misconception definitely is that people forget the whole emotional, the whole experience, the psychology behind trading and how much actual emotional control you need to have in this very game. If not, you end up losing like everyone else. So that's the biggest misconception that traders have about crypto and trading. It's not just a couple of YouTube videos. It's not just a little bit of luck. It is a skill set that you need to forge over years. You need to gain experience and you will make mistakes. But as long as, especially you trade with the right risk management, meaning how much percent of your whole capital do you put into one basket, into one trade, that's gonna define at the end of the day if you win or lose. It doesn't matter if you trade, for example, 10 trades and out of these 10 trades, only 4 trades take profit. If you have the right risk to reward, so you're risking, for example, 10%, to make 30%. Then if you have 4 trades, you will still be profitable. So there's 2 ways how to trade. There's the hit ratio, that means you need to be hitting most of your trades in profit, and then there's risk to reward. So you can become successful in trading and make money even though you lose most of your trades. That's something people don't understand. But you need to have a system that either goes into hit ratio or risk and reward, and then you need to follow the system regardless. Beginners can actually make money in trading if they follow, for example, other experts, right? They can follow and just copy. But here also, most of the times, they will fail due to emotional interference. They will interfere with the trade themselves. They will not be able to copy it the right way. They will try to do it themselves. They will change the risk. So therefore, if you want to become profitable in trading as a beginner, you need to follow an expert, for example, and he needs to be an expert. Obviously, it's sometimes very difficult to see who really has a good record or not and who is just lying. But if you would follow someone one-to-one with the right risk management and this person is profitable, then you can also be profitable. But again, it's very, very difficult. So I don't think someone should just solely base their profitability on someone else. They should learn the skills. They should learn the money skills in general, because let's say you follow someone successfully in trading and you make a lot of money following him. Now you don't have the skill of money in general. You don't have the emotional control. You're just going to waste the money. You're just going to blow it out. You're just going to buy dumb stuff with it. So trading is not only the skill of making money, but trading and then money management is the skill that includes that and risk management, these three main components that at the end of the day will define if you will be not only profitable in making money and keeping the money, but also doing good stuff with the money. Most traders that are beginners and they are lucky, they will waste their money on BS. And now they are most of the times even then in minus in the future, because they start to overspend it, because once you make a lot of money, you start to spend it, you get used to this lifestyle, to buy whatever you want, to go wherever you want, to buy dumb stuff, right? And you want to crave more, you want to have more and more and more. And then some traders even start to go into minus. The skills you actually need to win. Here's the truth. Trading isn't gambling. It's a skill set. It's about discipline, patience, and knowing how to read the market without getting sucked into FOMO or greed. The key skills that every trader needs is number one, learning the right system. Number two, he needs to have a good expectation of when he will become profitable. I always tell people that learn trading, it takes at least 2 to 3 years to become profitable, and really profitable will take a little bit longer, but most people don't understand that there's 3 phases in profitability on how to get profitable. Number one, you lose the accounts, you blow it, you make mistakes. Number two, you are trading zero, so it doesn't matter what you do, you always come out at zero. And then number three is you are becoming profitable, so everything above zero, obviously. So most of the traders in their first 1 to 2 years, they will pass, if they constantly work on it, the minus phase into the zero phase, and this zero phase can go on for another 1 year until they really stop doing the same mistakes. They found their system, they are comfortable with it, they are smart of combining the whole market. Look, trading is not only technical analysis, it's not only just like reading the news, it's combining everything. So trading at the end of the day and really becoming profitable, which I really felt in my trading style, is that once you start to understand the market, like you start to understand your partner, a person, like you start to understand something else. It might be any other skill that you have, right? It's like riding a bicycle. You start, you kind of fall off all the time, you hurt yourself. Then you are kind of like in the second phase where, yes, you are riding, you're not very comfortable with it, right? You are like still very shaky on the bicycle. It's still a little bit difficult. You're still too scared to go very fast. Sometimes you still tip over. And then phase number 3 comes where you really start to feel the bicycle. You know, I always say when I drive cars, and I love to drive cars, and it takes me sometimes a couple of days or a week to really be one with the car. And when you start to be one with the car, you feel the car, you feel every curve, you know what it's gonna do, you're gonna be experienced with the car. And that's the same with trading or with riding a bicycle or with any other skill. Once you have this feeling that everything you do, you touch, you know what is gonna happen, that's when you are really comfortable in the market. And that's most of the times when profitability starts, right? So there's multiple skills. It's the technical analysis, following a system, it's money management, how to manage your money in the sense of the money that you use for trading, but also the money after the trading, risk management, how much do you risk per trade? Then it's the emotional control, emotional stability, right? How emotional stable are you in times of very high profit or very time loss, right? Sometimes people say, yeah, I have no problem taking losses because I have a good risk management, but you will see that your confidence will get lower in trading once you had a row of stop losses, once you had weeks of minus, right? Sometimes in my trading, I have 3 weeks of drawdown and minus, and then 1 week where everything comes back plus profit. But these 3 weeks sometimes feel like going through hell. So you need to be emotional stable, right? So the only way you can be disciplined during the market volatility is by following a system and never changing it. It doesn't matter what other people say. That's another very big mistake. People are very biased because they listen to other people. They listen to influencers. They listen to these kind of videos like mine. And I understand this is my bias. If I say I'm bullish, right, and you watch this video and then you go into the market and your bias is bullish, 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 you're only gonna look for buy entries. But the system or the market actually, price action shows us, for example, in your system that is bearish. Now you have a conflict of interest because now you have outside sources that tell you to buy, but you yourself in your system, you say, no, it's a sell. Who do you follow? You definitely need to follow your system. You cannot be biased. That's why most of the times I'm very, very careful who do I listen to, and I don't really talk about trades with other people. I follow unbiased my system, and what my system tells me is what I'm gonna do, regardless of anyone else, any other traders. And obviously I'm very connected with my traders, even 50 min crypto, where we provide very high profitable and quality trade ideas and updates. Stefan many times would say something else than I would say, right? But I'm gonna follow my system, because you need to stay disciplined during market volatility, or just in general during hard phases, and you need to have a system. And that's where already most of the people fail. They don't have a system. They just have a little bit of trend lines, they use a little bit of indicators, but there's no defined system. A system means step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, until you take the trade. Stop loss, take profit, entry, all of these things need to be 100% defined and replicatable. So let me tell you this, how do you know if you're following the good system, or a good system in general? If you can use this system that you follow, or if you create it yourself, you can follow in every market situation, on every market, and it's always the same, then congratulations, you achieved something that most will never achieve in trading. But if there's room for change, means sometimes the stop loss is somewhere different, sometimes the target profit is somewhere different, sometimes the entry is somewhere different, sometimes you have a trend line and you say, okay, it bounced back 2 times, now I'm gonna enter. Once there is no definition, right, not 100% definition, like not 100% defined, then you will fail, because you have room for emotional decisions. Because if your system doesn't tell you what to do, then you have chances, and these chances then most likely will be emotional, right? Let me make a stupid example. Let's say there's a certain order on how to make a burger in McDonald's. That's why they are so successful, because they have a replicatable system, and that's also why McDonald's everywhere in the world is the same, and it most likely tastes the same, right? So there's a system, okay? You have to do the patty like this, you have to put the salad like this, that's the amount of cheese that you put, that's how you package, the wrapping, everything is the same. It's a system, so everyone can follow it and they can replicate pretty much the same result. But let's say now there is steps in the process of doing burgers that is not defined, then you will start to do it yourself. Every human will do it different depending on the culture that they come from, the way they like to enjoy food, the way they think it's gonna be good for themselves, and now the result is going to be different. Now people are going to come to this McDonald's and eat a burger that is too spicy just because the person themselves, they like spice. You know what I mean? So the outcome is different. And that's the same for trading, and that's what most people don't understand. There needs to be 100% fixed and defined system. If not, okay, so for example, let's go into a naked chart. How do you analyze this chart? How do you find out if it's bullish or bearish? What do you use for it? Where is your entry? Where is your stop loss? Where is your take profit? How much risk are you using? Like, all of these things need to be 100% defined. If not, you're gonna definitely fail. And if you don't, then it's a luck phase, but you will fail afterwards. So I definitely need to tell you that discipline comes from having a good system. And then you need to just follow the system. It doesn't matter what it tells you. Sometimes my personal opinion about the market is different, but the system tells me to buy or sell, then I will follow it. Because if not, I cannot backtest it. I cannot say I followed the system and it's profitable or not. Some people don't even know if their systems are profitable or not, because they don't have reference data, because they don't follow it 100%. Because every time there's a big decision or there's an atypical behavior in the market, they will start to decide emotionally. Based on their emotions, they will go into different WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, they will watch YouTube videos, and they will say, oh, everyone is saying it's bullish, but your system is saying bearish. Then you need to follow your system, right? That's what most people don't get. It's not about your own discipline only in general. It's also about the discipline to follow the system, the confirmations that you have to enter a trade. Now, if I would say after system, the second most important thing in trading is actually risk management, okay? Long term, you can only win if you have the right risk management, which means how much are you risking in a trade? Okay, now in Forex trading, you should normally do 1 to 3%. In crypto, I do 3%. In Forex, I do 1%. It's always defined. It doesn't matter what happens. I risk 1% in Forex trading because I do funded trading and very big capital. I cannot risk more than 1%. And I risk 3% in crypto. So you need to have a fix. You can copy it, you can take it. If you start just do 1% everywhere, later on you will need to find out for yourself, but it always needs to be the same. And that's also where many people make a big mistake. You need to calculate your risk. If you have $10,000, you want to trade with 1% per account, then you can only take $100 per position. And if you lose these $100. You know what I mean? You can use more money, but the minimum or the maximum that you can lose in this trade when it hits stop loss is $100, right? And that's where people are very confused. They just enter positions regardless of how much money, the money that they've left, and they put more money into it. And the same with Forex, you know, sometimes they do 1%, sometimes they do 2%, because it changes depending on your stop loss and your entry, right? Risk always changes depending on the capital that you have on your account, the stop loss that you're using, and the entry that you have. Sometimes you will have 10% of entry and stop loss, sometimes 5%, sometimes 2%, sometimes 20%. So you need to adjust how much risk are you putting into this trade. You can follow that. Most traders trade in between 1 to 3%, and you can decide for yourself. But that's where I found myself very profitable, by always following one setup, one percentual setup for my trades. 1% in Forex, 3% in crypto, because I'm a little bit more aggressive in crypto. I'm happy to risk a little bit more, and 1% on Forex because that's my more conservative play where I constantly make money. And that's what people also need to understand. There's different markets for different concepts of what you want to achieve. Do you want to have stable flow of trading gains? Then crypto trading is not so much it's maybe more Forex trading. If you want more high gains in certain phases, then crypto is better, so you can increase the risk a little bit. But I would never go over 10%, right? The best would be 3%, but never over 10%. Why? Because let's say you are risking 10%. 10%. That means at the end of the day, you only have 10 trades that you hit. And if they hit stop loss, all of these 10 trades, which I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it can happen, right? If there's a big market correction, fundamental news, you hit 10 stop losses, all your money is gone. Because now with 10% per trade, you have 100% in total. 10 trades, your money is gone. You lose 6 trades, 60% of your portfolio is gone. Now with 40% left of your portfolio, you need to make back 60%, so it's more. You understand what I mean? Now you need to increase the risk more. That's something people don't understand. Once you go into minus, you need to make that back plus the profit, and you have less money to play with, okay? So be very mindful about the risk, and that's the second most important thing after a system. The mental game, greed and fear. Two emotions that kill traders, greed and fear. Greed makes you chase unrealistic gains. Fear makes you sell at the worst time. Master these and you're already ahead of 90% of the traders. I personally manage emotions while trading with a very simple sentence, and some people will very much disagree, and I know that's something that I say very different to anyone else, but that's because I'm actually a real trader, is that once you don't care about the money anymore that you make in trading, that's when you really are emotionless. You don't have emotions, right? So what I'm trying to explain here is that most people start trading because that's going to be the only source of income. That's the only way they're going to make money. And that's a lot of pressure you put on yourself. You're constantly emotional connected to the money that you're making in trading or losing, because that's money that you will dedicate in your head for your rent, for your cars, for your expenses, for your food, for your wife, for your whatever, right? Once you kind of like personalize trading and the gains, that's where I found myself losing most of the money in trading. So once I started to have businesses and cash flow, that's why I always say, if you want to become a very successful trader, first you need to take care of your cash flow, because you need money to fund your accounts. And once you have enough money there, then you should start trading out of abundance. What I'm trying to say here is that I have a rule. It's very difficult to create abundance out of nothing. So if we trade and we don't have money, right, it's very difficult to create abundance out of this. You will be very emotionally invested. So if you are very emotionally invested with fear and greed, how to get away from it is making money somewhere else so you are financially comfortable, and then trading and not giving so much an F about how much money you're actually making with trading. Most of the biggest hedge fund managers, when they got interviewed, right, for a certain book, they said that the biggest times they lost money is when they put a certain tag, a certain target into their trading, in the sense of emotionally, they started to trade and said, I would love to buy this villa at the beach for $2 million US. So I need to make $2 million US. So they told themselves, this year, my goal is to make $2 million US. Now they emotionally invested, right? And that's when they started to lose most of the money. So in this case study, right, on the answers, like, of all the biggest hedge fund managers, they all said the same about this very thing. I'm obviously not gonna do it, because I don't think myself of being smarter than some of the biggest hedge fund managers and fund managers in the world. I'm gonna follow their advice, and I'm gonna find a way how to not focus emotionally on the money. Trading money is always extra for me. I don't rely on trading money. That's why I'm very emotionally dead when it comes to trading. I just follow it as a robot. I follow my system, and that's it. My biggest emotional mistake in trading was definitely to take money from someone else too early, to trade it, and now I was very emotionally invested. I had a very big, heavy burden on my back by making returns for this person. You know, back in the times it was only $3,000 and I lost all of it, but because I didn't want to lose the money, because I was so afraid of it. It also taught me a lot. At the end of the day, you need to understand all of these mistakes, they teach you a lot in trading. They're important. But I started too early to put too much pressure on myself, which I think it's good because I was very mindful about how much money and how much risk I'm using. So I didn't lose the account in 2 days. I lost the account in a month. It took me a month. I've always been a slow trader. I've always been someone that doesn't trade a lot, right? So it took a lot of time and it gave me a lot of learnings. But what I'm trying to say here, you need to be very careful that you don't over leverage yourself. Not in the leverage only that you use in trading, but too fast, losing too fast, right? If you lose, it's good, but stretch it by using less risk so you have more learnings and you do it step by step. If you lose accounts in a day or in a week, then you're definitely just completely gambling. This has nothing to do with trading. So yes, one of my biggest emotional mistakes in trading was definitely to take on money from someone else to trade for them way too early, and that was too much of a pressure and I effed it up completely. And I still remember even after that I stopped trading for a couple of weeks and months because I felt so bad about myself. But it also included a lot of learnings. Obviously, I repaid the person back. And that's the mistake you need to do. You need to be accountable. And accountability in trading is going to push you. It's your own mistake, not someone else's. So that's one of my biggest emotional mistakes, but also one of my biggest learnings. The realities of success. Trading isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a grind. I've spent over 8 years learning, building a 7-figure portfolio and leading Europe's largest trading community to understand this game. For me, it took about 3 to 4 years to see my first real success in trading. I dedicated many hours every day for over 3 years into trading, sometimes being profitable, sometimes losing the money again, or sometimes making profit and losing money again. Profitability then is if you stay profitable, right? To really see success. So there's 2 very big points in my trading career so far. One of them was after 3 to 4 years and the other one was after 6 to 7 years, right? So I trade since 8 years now, and in my 6th year, so 2 years ago in my trading career, I really started to understand the markets very well, 2-3 years ago, right? So these are like the biggest milestones in my trading career, but I obviously stayed on it. I made a lot of mistakes. I lost a lot of money. That's why it takes some time. That's what I'm saying. You know, you should not have the expectation that you learn trading in 3 or 4 weeks. Nowadays, trading is learnable way faster than back in the times. Back in the times, there was zero information. No one was really trading. It was very hard to get information about it, but that's why I started to lead and build the largest trading community in Europe so people can also learn it, because I saw people having interest, and it's the most reliable source to learn trading right now. Also very affordable with a lot of very easy, you know, systems that you can follow actually. And now sometimes we have people that become profitable after 1.5 or 2 years or even earlier, depending on their personality. It's not a one type fit system, right? The system, yes, but every person is different. So some people can succeed in trading part-time, 100%. You don't need full-time focus. I'm a part-time trader. I built my business, I lead my community, and I trade, right? Sometimes I trade a half an hour a week. Sometimes it's a little bit more. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 or 4 hours a week, right? Most of the times how I go about it is I wake up, I'm on the charts for the first 1 hour. Before I go sleep, maybe I'm on the charts another hour. So it's 2 hours a day, that's it. I'm more a swing trader, so I hold my positions for a longer term of time because I don't want to sit in front of the computer just trading all the time. I found for myself that if I trade less, right, and I'm not so emotionally invested into the charts all the time, and I have broader stop losses, right? Very big game changer here as a side note is like, have bigger stop losses, guys. Don't start to trade with these 5 pips stop loss or something. You're just gonna get wrecked, right? You're just gonna put more pressure on your own mind and on yourself if you get constant stop losses. It's gonna change your mind, right? If you know the direction of the trade, then have smaller, okay? Have smaller risk, but bigger stop losses. So you feel more comfortable, because once you win a couple of trades, your confidence will go higher, and that is good, but it should not become too high because then you will blindly enter trades, right? So that's another very big learning that I had, and that's why with very broad stop losses, I'm more like a part-time trader. I'm not an intraday trader. I hold positions for sometimes days or even weeks. So, is crypto trading worth it? Yes, but only if you treat it with respect as a skill to master, not a gamble. If you're ready to stop chasing hype and start building real strategies, this is the path forward. Drop a comment below if you have ever fallen for one of these crypto myths. And don't forget to subscribe for no BS insights into the crypto market and investment world.